questions. Questions are a never-ending process. And it takes time to either get your answer, to either make your answer, or to either believe in someone else's answer. And the question that arises today in my head is that what does it take to make you smile daily? And maybe I have found the answer. Hello ladies and gentlemen, in this very episode of TFS, we are going to talk about a classic motorcycle which comes from a brand which is renowned for making classic since decades, the Triumph Speed 400. Now, couple of weeks ago, Triumph have came out with their classic retro motorcycle, which looks like a benchmark in itself. And in terms of looks, there is nothing under or over than it should have been. And with the retro elements and classic design language, this motorcycle is also and almost ready to look like a caferacer. Almost. Now the fit and finish and the build quality is something that every other automotive journalist has been talking about. And now you can also add my name into that list. Why I'm saying so? I mean, look at this motorcycle. This feels so premium, especially in terms of in-hand feel and looks. In fact, you can compare it with any of the bigger Triumph out there. And if you don't still understand that, then let me give you an example. That this is a Ducati level fit and finish.
The riding ergonomics is something slightly different from other motorcycles in this segment, especially the sitting posture. Because I have tried almost every other motorcycle in this segment, but none of them has this much upright and weird posture which inspires you to keep your back straight while riding. Then the handlebars are slightly on the downward side, which makes it more aggressive to handle. And on the other side, the foot pegs have been exactly mounted where it should have been. And overall, all three of this makes a comfortable riding posture for daily commute, long rides and for saddling. On higher speeds, you need to tuck in to stretch this tiny little baby boy.
And the dimensions are a bit smaller, but take a spin and you will love it.
The 398cc single-cylinder DOHC engine is something what I will say sufficient for daily commute and for highway runs between 80 to 120 km per hour, or for the beginner audience. And I have tried to stretch this, and the max I was able to clock was 160 km per hour.
And at higher RPMs, there is a bit of a buzz which reminds you that you are riding a single cylinder machine. And probably this can be a reason that why Triumph doesn't want to stretch it more at least to the red line limit which is shown on the instrument cluster, because this can be a point where this motorcycle might start losing its character of being a matured bike. Other than that, this motorcycle revs very easily and happily. And the most important thing, this is yet maintaining its pace. Also, the 6-speed gearbox and slipper clutch is very smooth to operate, and it's a proper combination with this engine. Then the acceleration on this motorcycle is pretty impressive, as this motorcycle accelerates pretty quickly, and it has its own strong punch, but the punch is not jerky. It has its own soft transition instead. Also, the braking bite is pretty crispy, and it has sufficient braking power to handle your every other riding behavior. Then the sound on this motorcycle is a bit thick, but that's a good thing because the targeted audience wants this. Then the features like ABS, switchable traction control, slipper clutch, USB port, engine immobilizer and single step seat bench enhances the comfort and safety of the rider and the pillion. The ground clearance and suspension travel on this motorcycle are sufficient enough to handle the Indian roads, so no complaints out there. However, the factory setting for the rear suspension comes on the softest preload, so adjusting the preload as per your weight will improvise the feedback from rear end. Also, the suspensions are stiff enough to provide you a good grip and to make sure that not all jerks reaches to you, and also it won't bottom out easily.
Now talking of accessories, on higher speeds, an air drag is surely gonna be your biggest issue. And to prevent that, I surely recommend you to buy a windscreen. The ground clearance is sufficient, but I will yet like to advise you to install a sump guard because the coolant reservoir can get damaged easily. Then the luggage carrier with the rear backrest and tank grips from Triumph catalog and the grab rails and side mirrors from Scrambler is yet gonna improve the overall experience.
Apart from that, the most essential accessories such as radiator grille or crash guard are the stock fitments from Triumph. However, few things on this machine are very annoying, such as the throttle play is something which makes you feel like it is equipped with ride-by cable instead of ride-by wire. Also, the seat height is easily accessible, but it is slightly on the higher side as per the rider's triangle. I mean, it could have been slightly on the lower side to improvise the riding triangle, just like its elder siblings. And the last but most stupidest thing is the fuel range on the instrument cluster, which fluctuates so quickly, especially with the earlier motorcycles that I have ridden, and with such huge differences that you can't even trust it for a minute. But thank God there are these fuel bars to slightly handle the scenario. But anyways, these things are yet okay for me, you or for anyone who wants to buy such a good thing at such a great value. I mean, this is one of the best retro machine and it is worthy in every manner for what you pay. In fact, it is one of the machine which I can suggest to anyone at any time. Now, if you have been dumb enough to not click on the like, share, and subscribe button, then what are you waiting for, bro? Go and be a smart one. Until then, this is TFS signing off. Peace. Love, love.